Do you put money on the National League to finally win an All-Star Game? It's not like they haven't since the very first one. The American League barely leads with 46 victories. The National League has 43. But the National League has not won since 2012. They are favored tonight, but just barely. Taking a look back since 2013, it has been the American League the entire way. Now, maybe since it's at Dodger Stadium.
Wait. American League didn't win in 2020.
Chris.
I'm just saying, they don't win it every year.
Did anyone win that year?
No.
We all lost in 2020.
It was a Bud
2020 was a losing year for literally everyone. Let's delete it from our memories and take a look ahead to 2022. Let's welcome in our betting expert, who is not as snarky as Chris Hassel, Larry Harstein here, giving us picks for the All-Star Game tonight. All right, Larry, we're going to go through several. We're going to look at some futures here. Will there be a run scored in the first inning? Let's start there.
Let's say no, and that would be 5 straight years. I mean, you've got Clayton Kershaw going to lead off the game against Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani's 0 for 8 against Kershaw. You have McClanahan starting for the American League, and they haven't seen a lot of them. The National League guys have not seen him too often. In fact, the first time he faces batters all-time in his career, it's 163 is the batting average. And you also have those shadows at Dodger Stadium with the start time on the West Coast. I'm going to lay the juice. No run in the first inning.
And we saw those shadows affecting some people last night. Let's talk about the total here. It was 8 a couple hours ago. It has now moved to 7.5. You're dealing with a hook there. How do you feel about the total?
Yeah, every year we look at all these amazing hitters and we think, you know, the bombs are going to be flying. And pretty much every year the great pitchers shut them down. I mean, you're talking about a 12-3 run to the under, 12-1-2, depending on the closing number. The last 15 All-Star games have averaged 6.87 runs. So congrats if you got in when the total was 8. It's down to 7.5. I'm still going to lean under.
All right, let's go with who wins tonight, American League or National League. As we mentioned, it has been all the way back since 2012. You can skip over 2020, Christopher, since the National League won the All-Star Game. Who's your pick to win tonight?
Yeah, the first thing I want to say before I give the pick is this is not a game you should be unloading the bankroll, 2 units, 5 units. There's no lock when you get an exhibition game. There's not a big edge. But if you're asking me who I would rather have, the team that's won 8 straight, the team that's 23-1, I will take the American League. The National League, the pitching, they're missing some really good guys when you talk about Fried and Rodon and Corbin Burns not going to pitch, plus Bryce Harper, Arenado, Chisholm, a lot of guys missing from that NL team. I know we just saw that Mike Trout won't play for the AL, and the AL will be the home team, even though the game is in Dodger Stadium. So I'm going to lean towards 9 in a row.
All right, you said don't put all your money on this game. Look, it's a lot of fun to watch. Maybe sprinkle some here and there. This is also really hard to pick, at least I think so. MVP for tonight. So taking a look at the list, Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, Vlad Guerrero Jr., you see it there, Mookie Betts, Giancarlo Stanton. Where would you maybe sprinkle some money in this?
I see a little value on Stanton down there at 12-1. This guy got hot towards the end of the first half. In his last 6 games, 3 homers, 8 runs scored, 7 RBI. He's batting 5th in the lineup. He's going to get to face Clayton Kershaw, and he's 5 for 18 with 2 homers, 2 doubles, and a 1,000 OPS against Kershaw. So if he can just give us a solo shot, we could get an MVP at 12-1.
All right, let's look at some mid-season futures here. And this is a little more fun right now because, Larry, I already know your answers. Let's go with AL winner. And you are not going with a team that has been the most dominant team in all of baseball. The Yankees are the favorite at plus 165. That is not your pick, Larry.
No, there's a team that's been creeping up on them, and that's the Astros. We get a doubleheader with Astros and Yankees to start the second half. The Astros have taken 3 out of 5 meetings so far, and while the Yankees have lost Luis Severino, look who the Astros are getting back next month. Lance McCullers, this guy 13-5 with a 3.16 ERA last season. You pair him with Verlander and Valdez. This Astros team was not hitting at all for the first couple of months. Well, now they're up to 6 in OPS. They have the best ERA in the American League. So, yeah, at plus 200, I'll take a shot on Houston.
Let's look at AL Cy Young winner here in the midseason. Shohei Ohtani is the favorite to win AL MVP. He is not the favorite to win AL Cy Young. It is Shane McClanahan, the guy getting the start tonight in the All-Star Game, followed up by somebody who has been creeping as well with that Astros team, Justin Verlander there. Who do you like to win AL Cy Young here midseason?
Well, McClanahan, I don't think is going to get the innings. He's only at 110 innings. He's a young arm. He only threw 123 innings last season, so I don't think he's going to pitch 220 innings. And Verlander's 39 years old. We'll see if he can keep it up. But look at Shohei Ohtani down there at 6-1, 6-0 with a 0.45 ERA in his last 6 starts, averaging over 13 strikeouts per 9 innings. And you know, Amanda, some people have an issue giving the MVP to a guy on one of the worst teams in the American League, a team that has totally collapsed in the Angels, but no one has an issue giving the Cy Young to that guy. And if Ohtani just keeps it up, I think there's good value right now at 6-1.
Let's hop over to the National League. So when it came to the team to win the American League, you went with the second favorite. You're also going with the second favorite to win the National League. The favorites are the Dodgers. Who are you taking right now?
I'm going to look at the Mets, and that's because Jacob deGrom is almost ready to rejoin the rotation. It could happen next week. This guy throws 100 miles an hour. We know he's won 2 Cy Youngs. And then you put him in a rotation with Max Scherzer and Walker, then you've got the best big three of any team in the National League. They just went to Atlanta and took 2 out of 3. I think they're getting overlooked a little bit because the Braves are coming on. The Braves won the World Series. We know the Dodgers and their massive payroll, but I think there's value on the Mets, and you just got to love Buck Showalter and the vibe he's created there in New York.
Before we get to the World Series, let's talk NL Cy Young winner here. You're going chalk, but I think everybody has to in this category because he's absolutely running away with it.
Yeah, Sandy Alcantara, he's a throwback. This guy has gone 7 innings or more in 13 straight games. He's thrown 2 complete games, which gives him 5 for his career. You know, Corbin Burns, you got to worry about him. He does have a 2.14 ERA. He won it last year. He could definitely get in the mix, but just the way Alcantara is pitching and the way he's just crushing everyone in innings, over 138 innings. He's definitely going to lead the league in innings, and he just looks like a workhorse that is not going to be deterred this year. I'm going to play the chalk with Sandy Alcantara.
Last game went into the 8th, 12 strikeouts. Marlins still lost there. All right, World Series winner. You have the Astros coming out of the American League, the Mets coming out of the National League. Who wins the World Series right now?
You know, Dusty Baker has never won a World Series as a manager in his great career. He's 73 years old. There's a sentimental angle that they're pulling for him to try to get one. And I just think the Astros also, they have not hit yet. You know, Bregman, Gurriel, those guys are hitting 238. We know they're better than that. And like I said, Lance McCullers coming back for Houston. I'm going to play the value plus 450. It's kind of going to be a redemption story for the Astros after all the cheating that went on a few years ago. I think they take it legitimately in 22.
Larry Harstein, enjoy the game tonight. The home run derby was a lot of fun. Hopefully tonight is a lot of fun as well. Let's recap his picks here. Starting with the All-Star Game tonight, he said, look, with so many players, it's very weird to pick this game. So maybe don't throw a ton of money at it. But the past 5 years, we have not seen a run in the first inning. So that is more of a sure thing there. When it comes to futures right now, the midseason, he's going with not the favorite, the Yankees, to win the World Series or the American League. He likes the Astros to come out as AL champs. They're going up against the Mets in the World Series, and he has the Astros winning it all at plus 450. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.